Hey guys, this is really awkward. I don't usually do these type of videos. But anyway, welcome back to my channel. This video is a bit different from the current vlogs that I've been doing. Some may say this is out of theme, but it's still January, so I don't care. Today we are going to be talking about my 2026 ins and outs. This year needs to be a lot different for me, a lot calmer and just a bit more intentional with it. So these are my ins and outs for 2026, but not in a perfect life type of way, but more of a realistic school, general life way. Okay, I think it's only right to start with the ins so we can see what my goals are for this year. Number one, consistency. And I'm not even talking purely about school and academia, but life in general. I'm just inconsistent. Maybe my GCSEs would say different, but I feel like I was just so inconsistent with stuff when it comes to just revising. Like, I feel like I have bursts of motivation and then I can just revise for weeks on end, and then suddenly I've hit a new low and then I can't revise for a week. Maybe that links to burnout, but I don't know. Consistency is not part of my routine, so I need to get that part of my routine ASAP. Considering I'm sitting my AS exam for the end of the year, I actually have no excuse for not being consistent, because genuinely what I do now is going to determine a lot from what my predicted grades are that are going to get sent to my university or to the universities I applied for. I just want to be in a good place, and I think the only way you can do that is with consistency. So I just need to consistently revise. I don't know if any of you have seen that consistency curve. I don't know if it's a consistency curve, but it's something. And basically what it tells you is like, you need to do something then, and then do it again the next day, then like 3 days or a week, then 2 weeks, then a month, then here and there, then it should be in your long-term memory. But that's academia. If we're talking about general stuff, for example, posting, I really want to stay consistent with this YouTube thing. Like, this is not a phase. I need to get this done properly. And then also like hobbies. I've got no hobbies, but that's my next in. So let's go on to the next in. My second in is hobbies. I genuinely can't tell you a single hobby I have right now. Like, all I do is school, home, right now YouTube, I guess, making videos, watching TV, and reading. I won't lie, I do love to read, but that's it. So that's why I need to get hobbies in my life. But I'm so excited because I'm a prefect at my school. So how it works is we get to make clubs for the rest of the sixth form. What me and some of my friends have made is a crocheting club. One of us, my other friend, Noor, you've probably seen Noor before, is the crocheter. Like, she's so good at crocheting. We can't crochet to save our lives. So that's probably where the imbalance is. But our contribution to the club is, it's called Crocheting for a Cause. So like, we're going to crochet and then donate. So I want to have some contribution to the charities and stuff like that. And I think that's going to be such a fun hobby. We learn how to crochet, and we're going to do it, of course, I think fortnightly, weekly, I don't know, and then donating it at the end of the month. So we're gonna have monthly goals, and I can't wait to crochet. Like, it's gonna be so fun. I know I'm gonna be so bad at the start, but we don't need to think about that right now. Okay, this is the third one. It's kind of random, but 2026, we need to start calling out bad behavior, guys. I'm done with this. Why do I always need to hold back from telling someone when you're actually just misbehaving? What I'm saying is, if someone's acting up, can we say something, please? I'm an avid supporter to people that call other people out. You might say that's confrontational. I disagree. I think we need to stop being people pleasers, and I think we need to stop accepting people acting up. I do not think it's confrontation at all. I think it's just a form of protecting our own peace. Sorry, sue me. Like, I'm gonna start calling out more bad behavior. Sounds like I'm like gonna fight someone. You know, when you're in lesson and there's that one student that always loves to call out the teacher, I find that so entertaining. Not saying fight your teachers, I'm just saying that's a trait I want to possess when it comes to different situations, not classroom situations. I think this in is a big in for the year group that I'm in, because the way I see it is protecting your energy is just a part of growing up, a way of growing up. Like, honestly, boundaries aren't even rude, they're just necessary. Calling out bad behaviours and taking a step back is a form of self-respect, and I think everyone needs to adopt that form of self-respect ASAP this year, 2026. Okay, swiftly moving on to the next in. And this was a big one for me, because if you know me, you know how much I love clothes, I love fashion, I love shopping. I never shop. It's a crazy concept. I speak a lot about clothes. My Pinterest is my holy grail. I love my Pinterest so much. It's got so many inspo pics, and also just, I think it's just me in an online form. Everything about me is my Pinterest. I love my Pinterest so much. So I'm gonna start shopping strategically based on my Pinterest, but based on categories. The categories are core staples, elevated basics, gap fillers, and our statement pieces. So the core staples are literally just normal tees, like this, like a basic t-shirt, nice jeans, basic grey jeans, for example, a black top. That's our core staples that will basically be the foundation for every single outfit. Then it's our elevated basics. So that's the upgrade pieces. They're basically going to make our simple outfits look intentional. So if you're a corporate type of girl, you might want like a nice structured blazer. You want maybe a button down sort of shirt with a good fabric. Do you know what I mean? Like something that makes a basic outfit look polished. That's what we need. That's our elevated basics. Then there's our statement pieces. It's literally in the name. It's a statement piece. So maybe like a bold sort of trouser. Oh my God. Something I love is embroidery. I think that's the name. But like when people have embroidered in trousers. If you know me, I love cherry blossoms. I've literally got cherry blossom lights in my room. I really want jeans. I've seen a couple that have like embroidered in, like sewed in cherry blossoms. And it's so pretty. Like that's a statement piece in my opinion. Maybe some people might consider that a core staple because it is a bit basic, but it's different. And that's what I see as one of your statement pieces. And then maybe some unique shoes. I've seen people with leopard print shoes. I'm not a leopard print person. I don't think I'm into that. It was that whole glamour thing back in 2023 or something. Stuff like that. It's different. It's a statement. It says something is happening within the outfit. Then our last one is the gap fillers. So gap fillers are basically the items that solve problems in your outfit that you already have. For example, we've got a belt that works with any sort of outfit, but I'm not talking a basic black belt. You know those belts that are kind of thin? I don't know how to explain it, but a belt that works with any outfit, but the belt is cute. Like it's different, do you know what I mean? Maybe also like a top, a layering type of top for winter outfits. Those are the pieces that just make your outfit make sense. I've been rambling a bit for the shopping bit. That's how I'm going to structure shopping 2026. I need to start shopping. I need to build my dream wardrobe. My next one is that success is not linear. Accepting that success is never ever linear is my next in for 2026. Like this in can be applied in every single scenario, not just school. But if we're going to talk about school, it's so hard to like just accept that maybe you're going to be on a D and then you're going to get onto a B and then probably you're going to go back to a C. Like it's so annoying, but it's so realistic. Speaking of which, I've literally got my assessment week after tomorrow and I'm aiming for better grades than I got my first assessment week. But it might not happen and it's going to be hard to accept. But I kind of just need to accept it. Success without failure is not success. You're not going to learn from anything. But I think the hardest bit about that, for me anyway, is that it's like, I just put all those hours in and what was that for me to get a C? I mean, I haven't gotten a C yet, but I think that's just the hardest thing. Knowing that you put all those hours and all that effort and time and then it doesn't work out. It's just kind of demotivating. But then again, success is never linear. So I just need to accept that and just understand that there's always something you're going to have to change. There's always something that you're going to need to learn from, adapt and tweak. And that is what makes successful people successful. Unless you're just lucky. But if we're talking in a non-academic scenario, I'm going to talk about another hobby that I didn't actually mention, baking. Something that you should know about me is that I actually can't bake to save my life. Once I made brownies, we'll call it brownies, it wasn't brownies, it looked like concrete and it was just not it. I made pancakes. I made them lucky pancakes. This was before my geography GCSE and I literally wrote the words geo on it. They were rock hard. I don't know why, but they were. And I wouldn't have known how to make better pancakes. I'm not saying they're great, but they're better if I didn't make those rock hard pavement concrete pancakes at the start. So that's what I mean, success is never linear. Maybe next time I make pancakes, they're going to be solid. They might be. They probably will. Just learning from that and accepting that something always has to change. Nothing's perfect. That's the thing. Nothing's ever perfect. Oh, it's so hard to accept, but nothing ever is actually going to be perfect. No matter how much you try, something's always going to go wrong. Maybe not wrong, but not your way. That's how I should word it. Something's not always going to go your way. So yeah, that's my next one. Accepting that success is never linear. And next in is being intentionally selective with your energy and access. So what I mean by this is knowing who and what can access your energy and your time by thinking about if it's actually going to benefit you. Not everyone deserves the same level of access to you, especially when you're trying to rebuild yourself or just build yourself in general, whether that's grades, confidence, or just making a life for yourself that you can actually enjoy. Not everyone has to have access to you. So that means saying no when you want to say no. I think I have no problem with saying no to people. Unpopular take, but I think everyone is a people pleaser to some extent. Some people might not claim to be people pleasers, but let's be honest, everyone's going to be a people pleaser unless you're just a psychopath and you just don't care about everyone. Sure, you're different, but I think everyone is a people pleaser to some extent because you don't always want to hurt people's feelings. However, saying no without always having to over explain yourself is, I just want to do that. But yeah, I think saying no without having to over explain yourself, not being people pleasers all the time, it does have its benefits. And of course, I'm not trying to upset anyone, but we need to start protecting our own peace. Building from that, distancing yourself from people that drain you, that distract you, and especially the people that subtly compete with you. Goodbye. Those people that love to go around and collect data on who got what for their exam. Like, can you mind your business? I know everyone is thinking about one person. I know I am. I find it embarrassing because it's very one-sided. Those are the people where your win will become their insecurity, or your loss will be a quiet relief to them. To the very last in, and that is regular exercise and just taking walks. 2025, I did go to the gym maybe 5 times, 3, I don't know. I started tagging along with my sister near the end of the year. I'm just really determined to having a habit of regular exercise in my daily routine. If you're going to think about it on a biological level, it literally improves memory, stress and focus. Quite literally just improves blood flow. Blood carries oxygen to your brain, and it also triggers the release of specific neurotransmitters that we all know, so like endorphins, serotonin. Those control and regulate your mood and stress levels. Okay, we have talked about the ins of 2026. Now, what are we leaving in 2025? Number 1, comparison. When comparison turns constant, it shifts your motivation to survival in a way, because you're always thinking about what can you do to level up with someone else, level up to be better than someone else. Everything turns into a threat. Worst feeling ever, knowing that every time someone else does something good, you feel like, okay, what about me? So easy to get caught up trying to work out what you're doing wrong. 95% of the time, you're not even doing anything wrong. It's just nothing's going to be the same for everyone. Just because you're aware of someone else's path doesn't mean it's meant for you. Comparison, like everyone says, is the thief of joy. I truly believe that. It makes it feel like you're always late in life, even when you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I think it just distorts reality, and you compare all your little behind the scenes to someone's highlighted bits. For example, I love watching productivity vlogs or my night routine. It always looks so perfect. But is it really perfect? It all links back to lack of consistency and lack of motivation when you compare yourself. My next out that I think almost everyone here can agree with me is doom scrolling. TikTok. I think TikTok's the biggest one. I don't have TikTok on my phone, but still, TikTok was the biggest one when I used to have it. Instagram Reels. That app, I think Instagram Reels was like the most addicting thing ever when I had Instagram on my phone. I do have an account, but I don't have the app because I just loved scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And it's that temporary and artificial dopamine hit that I loved. The best thing you can do is just catching yourself out. I'm very proud of myself so far of January is that every time I've caught myself doom scrolling on YouTube Shorts or Pinterest, because they're the 2 things I actually have been quite good at just telling myself stop. The only person I can blame is myself. I don't want to feel guilty, and this is making me feel guilty. So let's just stop. Catch yourself out. Tell yourself, okay, whoa, what's happening? Put your phone in another room. Something that I do when I study is I like to put my AirPods in or my headphones on and then just chuck my phone on my bed. And to wrap this all off, our last out that we're leaving in 2025 is burnout disguised as productivity. When you think that you're being productive, but you're not. There was someone in my school that loved to brag about how many hours they would do. From all-nighters to being able to study 11 hours straight. I mean, God knows if it was all fictional. I think that was all a lie. Because to me, I'm sorry, but I'm not impressed. Those are the silent competitors that I'm trying to avoid. So all-nighters is literally just burnout disguised as productivity. Sometimes it gets like that. Honestly, I've had to do all-nighters, but for homework. I don't really ever pull all-nighters for revision. It's always ever been homework that I decided not to do until the night before. There has been instances where I've had to stay up until about 3 or 4 because I just know my maths teacher will slap me into the next week. I have to get it done. I think this is the year to focus on quality over quantity and working smarter rather than longer, and just building habits that make life enjoyable. Progress and success should never ever ever come at the cost of health and happiness, and we need to learn that for 2026. This is the year of balance. So if anything I said today resonated, take what applies and just leave the rest. We're all moving at different paces and that is okay. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I have waffled enough. This is going to be a pain to edit, but